The Daily Wire for Saturday, June 27th. Watch. Pelosi and Schumer can't remember George Floyd's name. Justin Bieber files $20 million defamation lawsuit against women who accused him of sexual assault. Good for him. I mean, as long as he didn't do it, fight back. Yes, do it. First, trans queer lesbian stars in Calvin Klein billboard for Pride Month. That looks like a woman. This person is presenting as a woman. Why do we indulge such ridiculous terms? To end racism, California Democrats vote to bring back racial preference. Female Asian GOP state senator slams measure. Yeah, because they are doing away with certain, civil rights type laws. It's kind of a big step back. Most outrageous, sinful comment. Scott blasts Pelosi for accusing Senate GOP of trying to get away with Floyd's murder. Oh, brother. Ads. Nobody is getting away with Floyd's murder. The people who were there, they're all arrested. They're all being punished. Do I want to click on anything? I'm curious as to what the context is where they can't remember the man's name. I mean, honestly, how can you forget when everything that's about the riots or the protests, everything has to mention his name? The leaders of the Democratic Party in Washington, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, are so dedicated to seeking justice for Floyd Taylor. George Kirby. Wait, just whom are they seeking justice for? According to Schumer, it's Floyd Taylor. According to Pelosi, it's George Kirby, as can be seen below. Oh my. Okay.
For the families of Floyd Taylor, George Taylor.
I only will do that if you tell me that this legislation is worthy of George Kirby's name.
Unable to process the name of George Floyd, in whose name she has championed protests across the nation, Pelosi apparently was referring to the great comedian and superb impressionist George Kirby, who came to fame in the 1960s and appeared on such shows as The Ed Sullivan Show, The Dean Martin Show, The Jackie Gleason Show, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, and The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Okay. As for Schumer, it's unlikely that he was referencing the real-life blues singer Floyd Taylor. It's more likely he was conflating the names of George Floyd, who died after a Minneapolis police officer knelt on his neck, and Breonna Taylor, an emergency medical technician who was fatally shot by Louisville Metro Police Department officers in March. One might think that Pelosi and Schumer might remember George Floyd's name more easily. After all, here are some statements from the two Democrat power brokers. Earlier this week, Pelosi ranted of Senate Republicans. For something to happen, they're going to have to face the realities of police brutalities, the realities of the need for justice and policing, and the recognition that there's many good people in law enforcement, but not all, and that we have to address those concerns. So when they admit that and have some suggestions that are worthy of consideration, but so far they were trying to get away with murder, actually, the murder of George Floyd. Oh, there's that quote, so I got to know what that was too. On Wednesday, Schumer was asked, "What's your reaction? Do you think it was appropriate for Speaker Pelosi to say that Republicans are, quote, getting away with murder of George Floyd?" Schumer answered, "Pelosi's answered that, question herself and whatever. What she said was fine with me." Another statement as recently as Thursday from Pelosi. "Madam Speaker, exactly 1 month ago, George Floyd spoke his final words, 'I can't breathe,' and changed the course of history in our nation. I'll never forget that, nor will many others. I also will never forget his calling out for his mama right there at the end." Last September, speaking at her weekly press conference, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi elicited laughs from reporters when she used air quotes to describe President Trump's mind. While discussing gun control, a reporter asked, "Have you spoken with him? What do you think he's wrestling with?" Pelosi replied, "You want me to tell you what goes on in the president's mind?" She made air quotes with the fingers of both hands. Oh my goodness. This woman, go away. All right. I think that's it. That's all for Sundry Weekend News. Thank you and goodbye.